What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to an exciting episode of Mouse Park Insider.
Come on, everybody, here we go!
Is this haunted room actually stretching? Or is it your imagination?
Hang on to them hats and glasses, because this here's the wildest ride in the wilderness.
The wheels may be needing a little work.
Dead men tell no tales.
Oh, look at those people!
Here for the big race, huh? It's gonna be fun!
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're back. We're here. We have a fun episode. Dani, how are you doing?
I'm already annoyed by you.
What did I do this time? I'm
just like, I know how this episode's gonna go already.
Well, no, like, usually you get so mad about, like, how long I take to get ready.
You still took a long time.
I do. I have a vocal warm-up I do before each and every episode. I like to get it all out. You know.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'm good.
I did pretty fast this week.
It was not the half hour that I'm used to. I will give you that. No, I'm good. I'm glad to be back recording. I think this is like week 3 that we have been gone again. And believe it or not, you guys, I was the one constantly asking Tony every week, do you want to record tonight? Do you want to record tonight? Do you want to record tonight? No, I need sleep. Oh, like, okay.
I like sleep. Sleep is good.
Yeah, well, we don't get enough of it, but neither here nor there. But otherwise, I mean, going well. How are you? What's going on with you?
Not much. Same old. Nothing really new.
God, we're boring.
We are. We do have a Disneyland trip coming up. We were going to stay at the new DVC tower, even though we talked a lot of crap about it.
Yeah.
But then we decided to cancel.
Yeah. So here's the thing. We were going to stay. It turns out that it was opening night. We were going to stay at the new Disneyland DVC tower. And we paid it. We were doing a cash stay just for that night. The other nights we were using points at Grand Californian to stay. And one of the really big sell factors for us was this new Steamboat Willie splash pad that they're going to have there. And Jackson loves playing in splash pads. So we were like, well, that'll be fun. Like, that'll be a good way to start the trip. And we can get there early and know that our room will be ready early because, oh yeah, no one has ever stayed in it before. But then you actually told me a rumor that possibly the pool area and maybe even the splash pad will not be ready for opening weekend.
So there's a lot of reasons why we changed our mind. But yeah, first off, it all kind of started when I heard this rumor that the pool and splash pad might not be up in time. I have no idea if it is or not. It was just a rumor I read. And I started to get a little skeptical because the cash stay was $1,000. And I'm like...
It was more than that.
It was a lot of money to stay there, and I'm like,
do we
really want to spend that much money for one night on a hotel for a splash pad?
A splash pad, $1,200 for this splash pad.
Things started to make a little more sense.
That as a DVC member, you could access anyways.
So, anyways, yeah. So we just decided to get a cash room at Grand Cal. It's
because
a lot cheaper.
That way we don't have to worry about changing our cars, like get our car and move it over to Grand Cal versus the Disneyland Hotel. We don't have to worry about switching over our luggage. We can just leave it with Bell Services, or maybe our room will already be ready for us and they just take it over for us immediately. But
or
regardless,
a room might open up and we can just
maybe, and then it'll just be points instead of cash. But yeah, once I thought that there was a possibility that the splash pad won't be open, and I also thought about the whole fiasco of getting the car from valet and then moving over to Grand Cal and giving the car back to valet and getting our luggage out of the car again. It just sounded ridiculously exhausting, not a good vacation. And on top of that, I took a second guess, took a second thought. Opening day anywhere Disney related. It's just cameras everywhere, all these vloggers, all these influencers, everybody. I'm good to avoid that crowd. So
it's going to be a madhouse. Any Disney opening day, anything is always a madhouse. Not even just the influencers and all that.
Yeah, the
Disney,
people, everything.
Disney never gets their stuff down ever,
Oh, yeah.
the opening day. So
Yes.
that is just one thing
It's
that's
always a
like,
mess.
do we really want to spend that much money for a mess? Because we all know Disney has a history of kind of not knowing what they're doing on opening days. And
Yeah, it's like a
it could
trial
happen.
run, right? It's
Galaxy's
a trial
Edge, they
run
did
without.
a pretty good job.
That was the best that we've been
I will
to,
give
for
them
sure.
the whole having the block hour times and everything. That was cool. That was very cool.
No,
And they did a really good. It was smooth.
No, I don't want to start, fighting words here, but I also think that Galaxy's Edge opening was also pre all of these influencers. Like, you still had your influencers. You had your Cheesy Pop. You had your, what's that Justin guy? You obviously
Justin
had
Scard.
Yeah, you had like the big names that we all know. And then you also had the smaller accounts too, which we all appreciate. But it wasn't every single person and their mother and their child and their grandchild being an influencer. And now it is. It has changed significantly post-COVID. And that's fine. But when everybody wants to get the best shot, and the best shot is all in one area, or like it can just be a little overwhelming for people that don't care to that extent about
I like
it.
the influencers that go against the grain.
Yeah.
Like, do something different,
Yeah, like find a different shot.
Don't get the same
not
shot that every
everybody's
other
getting.
person is getting,
Yeah, but
like kind of change it up a
so
little
with
bit.
all those, we are just going to stay at Grand Cal for the whole trip, which I mean, oh, woe is me. Like, so excited about
For
that.
you.
I know.
I will say though, the new Pixar
The
hotel splash pad looks really fun. And if it didn't have to do with like the whole switching car thing, I'm like,
Yeah.
ooh, that I do want to stay there, and I do want to
We'll stay there eventually.
in the splash pad with all the kids.
I am hoping for maybe marathon weekend we can stay there. We'll see.
Yeah, I am running a 10K, guys. Get ready. Marathon weekend, baby, while I drink my Moscow Mule.
Yeah, but we
I just
got
ate a bowl of rice. Let's do this.
I'm totally ready. I will still be in the hotel sleeping with the toddler when you start. But they have like a kids race too, and so we signed Jackson up, and so he's gonna do his first Disney race as well that weekend. So I'm excited for that. I will run that with him because it's very short and it's just for fun. But I will be there as the parent with him, so that'll be exciting.
I still need to find a costume for that race.
I know we still need to think of costumes for Halloween. Are you kidding me?
I'm not even thinking about Halloween
Yeah,
anymore.
right around the corner.
I'm just thinking about-
around the corner.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
I know. We'll get our ish together one of these days.
One day.
All right, hitting the news now.
Yeah, I mean, unless you want to keep rambling about
I mean, I could ramble
nonsense, right?
forever.
Let's just talk about, random things that have been going on.
I ramble a lot. Okay, so over at Walt Disney World, we will start on the East Coast today. Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party has begun. It has already begun. It's mid-August, not even mid-August. Is it even mid-August
It's mid-August, yeah.
Okay, but so it is going.
When you
It
get
started
older, you don't
early
really
August.
know the days and the months anymore. You just
No.
know what month you're in, but you don't know, like, if
I just know, do I have to work?
I have no idea what days are of the month anymore. Like, I have no clue.
Anyways, it runs all the way through November 1st. Obviously, duh. So this is why I was asking you before we started, because Oogie Boogie Bash doesn't start until September 1st.
Yeah.
Oogie Boogie Bash, if you recall, sold out immediately of all dates. All dates completely sold out. Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party still has tickets available. Like, there are several dates that are sold out, but there are also several dates that are available still. So if you want to go, if you're in the area, if you want a last minute, Walt Disney World trip, or if you're just going to be there when it's happening, check it out. You might be able to go. $109 to $199 per ticket, depending on the dates, which sounds really steep, but I don't remember what we paid for Oogie Boogie. It might be on par.
I think we paid like $140, $130 for a ticket,
Okay, so it's on
maybe.
par. And we never went on like a super big night. We would go early.
No.
But if you see on Instagram, a lot of Instagram reels that I'm seeing lately is using the Boo to You parade song.
Mm-hmm.
So you could see the Boo to You parade in person if you decide to go, which I would love to see one day, because now I've got that song stuck in my head constantly.
Have I heard this song?
I'm not going to sing it right now because I will butcher it.
Just have I heard it?
I would think so. Yeah.
Boo to you?
Boo to you.
Is that the one that they have at Oogie Boogie Bash?
No.
Do, do, do.
No, the Oogie Boogie one.
The Oogie
that one is
Boogie
a
one's
jam.
catchy.
That one's good.
That'll stay stuck in your head for
That one is good. Like that's way better than Boo to You as far as the music
Boo
goes.
to you.
Boo
Sounds
to
like
You.
Bootios cereal
Oh my gosh.
from the New Day, WWE.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay.
Anyway, sticking over there.
Gotcha.
Okay, so remember how Haunted Mansion closed for like 2 or 3 days or whatever it was at Magic Kingdom?
Yeah, we got the Hatbox Ghost, right?
No.
What the heck?
We do not.
I know.
So it has reopened, and there was this big, rumor going around, and everybody was like, they're going to put in the Hatbox Ghost for the Haunted Mansion movie coming out, and blah, blah, blah. They didn't. It was just like a quick refurb. Things look cleaner. And
It is supposed
that's about it.
He is supposed to show up this year, though, sometime. He was announced at D23.
Yeah,
so.
we're going to see him eventually. We don't know when, but he'll be there one day.
Oh, that Hatbox Ghost is tricky, you know?
He
He's
sure is.
He's the trickiest Hatbox Ghost there is.
Never know where you're going to find him or his head.
He's such a trickster.
Okay, so going over to Disneyland.
So we're done with the East Coast.
We're done with the East Coast. Not a whole lot of news this week. Like there's news, but nothing like huge.
Sheesh.
But going over to Disneyland.
Uh-oh.
So this is Halloween. There is a special Halloween offering at the Disneyland Resort. If you have not listened to our episode a couple of episodes ago about Goofy's Kitchen Massacre, you could experience your own Goofy's Kitchen Massacre Halloween style. They're going to have a special brunch.
I love that leadway you just did.
They're going to have a special brunch and dinner offering. This is going to have, themed menu items, character appearances in their costumes, and decor and music and more. I highly recommend going to Goofy's Kitchen if you want to end up in the emergency room with horrible food poisoning that Disney doesn't want to even reimburse your meal ticket for. And just an awful, awful, awful end to your vacation. Yes, go check out Goofy's Kitchen for that massacre of a meal.
So we didn't have a good experience there.
I will never go back.
Yeah, we never will. But a lot of people do like it. So if you are a fan of Goofy's Kitchen, go. Have fun.
What is wrong with you people?
I don't know. I see people.
Obviously, they're not eating the fruit. I don't know.
I've talked to people. I see people loving it. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever.
Y'all are crazy. Seriously, go back and listen to that episode because I had a time.
Or you could just Google Goofy's Kitchen food poisoning and you'll see a ton of stuff.
There's so much that pops up. But
Yeah.
if you Google like Storyteller's Cafe, you don't find nearly as much. Like it's insanity. There's like entire Reddit threads all about Goofy's Kitchen food poisoning. Yeah. And I pulled a Karen, a very polite Karen, and I emailed Disney about this and just said like, this was my experience. This is what happened to me. I've got huge bills from it, by the way. I'm still fighting the ambulance that had to come and pick me up. Like unbelievable. My insurance says that they're probably going to cover it, but I'm still dealing with this. This was March 1st that this happened. Anyway, Disney did not even respond to my email. I was just like, hey, I wanted to let you know that I got food poisoning at this place, so you might want to look into it. And also, like, all I'm asking for is for my meal to be reimbursed because it's not exactly cheap. And honestly, I was just like, I deserve something. Give me I think it's $60 a person. I don't know.
Anyway,
But
go listen to the episode.
They didn't even respond to me. Okay, moving on.
Yeah, jeez.
This is obviously an open wound still that I'm healing from. Okay, let's move on to DVC.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
This is news I like.
This will be something that Tony can definitely chime in.
Thank the Lord.
Seriously,
Okay.
go listen to the Goofy Kitchen Massacre.
Just move on. Go. DVC, please.
DVC. Okay, so for the last 6 months, if you have been purchasing or attempting to purchase or thinking about purchasing a resale DVC contract, you were in the right state of mind because Disney was not taking advantage of their right of first refusal buybacks of these contracts, which Tony, you can explain that to the audience that is not aware of what that is. So they were not doing this. Now they have resumed it. They have resumed their right of first refusal. They call it ROFR. That's a lot easier to say. They have resumed their ROFR buybacks. So please explain to people who are not DVC savvy what this means.
So when you buy a DVC contract, you have the option of buying direct, which is right through DVC, their website. You get your points in 10 minutes, but it's all like ton of
double,
money.
triple, quadruple the price.
I would say like 30% more. And then DVC,
sometimes more.
It depends on the resort you pick. It all really depends. Now you can buy DVC resale, which we just said. It's about 30 to 40% cheaper. For a while, I mean, really kind of forever, Disney had the right to buy that contract back.
So basically you purchase, you bid on this contract. You say, I want to purchase this. The buyer says, okay, you can purchase my DVC contract, but then it needs to be sent to Disney first to basically approve the sale or decide to buy it themselves. Am I correct?
Yep. And so Disney has the first right to buy that contract back, take the points. If they don't want it, then it's all yours. If they do want it, then they're going to take it back. And they were on a streak. I think like the longest streak, I don't know.
I think ever.
Since
it was 6
when?
months.
Yeah, 6 months they didn't buy one contract back.
Yeah.
You could have gotten and the thing is, when you buy DVC resale, the seller can price it at whatever they want. So, and then you can negotiate the price too. So there were some contracts like people were selling them because they wanted to get rid of them for whatever reason, and you can negotiate the price, and it was great. And people were getting like Grand Floridian for low points.
Yep.
Just so many options for 6 months. And then I think, like a couple of days ago, they finally bought back their first contract, and the internet was freaking out. All the DVC fan groups I'm in were all like, oh no.
Yep. Yeah. I wish that like looking at the second contract that we bought was during this time frame. The first one was about a year and a half ago, but the second one was during this time frame where they were not buying back. And you never know. They might buy yours. They might not buy yours. We were probably like 2 months in to them not buying anything, but that can always change. I wish that we had negotiated our price, because even like a month or two ago, I started seeing even like right after we bought our contract, actually, I saw some really cheap ones going through that. I was like, damn, how did they get that?
I saw a Grand Floridian for like $140 a point.
That's crazy.
Oh no, that's the one that Disney finally bought back, but like that's what they were kind of going for
that.
around that.
Yeah, it's just
and
nuts.
That's super cheap for Grand Floridian.
For sure. But yeah, so that ship has sailed. Who knows when it will come around again that they don't buy back contracts. And this is not to say don't try to do a resale contract, because you still have the chance that Disney's not going to buy it, but it's probably going to have to be more competitive pricing now. Yeah,
competitive pricing. And if anyone is interested, I do hope we get some like more DVC interested people listening. You still have a good chance, I think, as long as you just don't go for like a stupid low contract.
Yeah, like $80 a point.
And usually
at Grand Floridian.
You can check online, or heck, you can even ask us on Instagram. I'll kind of help you out. But there's definitely ways to get them.
And if you're anti-DVC, I was anti-DVC for the longest time. Check out our friend Sam, DVC Millennial on Instagram. She's got a lot of good information about direct or resale or just DVC period. And she is actually the one that finally got Tony like the talking points to convince me to buy. And then I loved it so much that a year later, I was like, Tony, let's buy another contract. Like, let's add on more points. It is a money saver. It really, really is. And anyways, we'll probably do another episode on DVC eventually. It's totally worth it. If you're going to go to the parks at least like once a year or every other year, do it. Look into it at least. All right, moving on to AI, artificial intelligence. I actually, like the Chat GPT and stuff like that. I love using that stuff at work, but this is completely out of my league. Disney has created an AI task force to see how AI can be used in the future of Disney. So they've actually got like open positions posted right now. I think there was something like 11 the last time I looked for this task force in specific. They're hoping to, partner with startups and things like that. They're looking at basically touching all areas of the company. Now, AI, there are great things about artificial intelligence, but there are also terrifying things about artificial intelligence. I'm not going to get into it, but there could be a potential reason for people to worry about certain jobs. So they're looking at studios, theme parks, advertising, etc., how to use AI in these different areas. So I guess we'll see what happens. Interesting. Disney getting all tech savvy. Could you
Are
work
they?
on your hang on,
Are
no,
they?
hang on. Could you work on your website first?
That's what I was gonna say.
Like, come on.
Can we buy tickets?
Could
finally?
we get some good IT in there before you move on to AI? Thank you. Just saying.
right?
I know plenty of people for both if you want. Okay. And Disney Plus updates, moving on. It's going to be increasing the price, basically. So
Do we know how much yet?
I do, yes. October 12th, starting October 12th, the ad-free Disney Plus subscription will be $13.99 a month. A commercial-based here.
13?
Correct. Didn't it start at like $6.99?
That's what it is right now still.
Oh, is it? I
I
don't know.
don't
'cause
think it ever went up.
we do the bundle with like our Hulu Live and everything, so I have no idea. How
Correct
much
me
it
if I'm
is.
wrong, people, but I don't think it's gone up at all. It might be $7.99, but I don't think so.
$7.99 might sound right.
It sounds like a good number.
But no, I don't think that's correct because they've got ad free and they have the commercial base. So I do know that they had like a price increase at some point in there to differentiate the two tiers.
They have commercials now?
Yeah, but we don't have that one. That's why you don't know about it. Because we've got the Hulu Live package with everything. Anyways, so ad free. Okay, yeah. Oh, upper middle class with our Disney Plus. No commercials. Yeah.
I'll take the chicken fingers. The middle class Instagram account. Their shirt says I'll have the chicken fingers.
I have no
That's
idea.
just what,
Anyways, okay. Ad free is going to be $13.99 a month starting October 12th. If you've got the commercial based tier, that pricing is going to remain the same. Hulu is also increasing prices within this, so I'll be interested to see how much our bundle ends up going up because it's gone up a couple of times in the last few years. Hulu will be $17.99 a month for no commercials. I think the last time I paid for just Hulu with no commercials, I want to say it was like $12.99. So there's definitely been a couple of price increases for Hulu. Again,
dude, Hulu commercials suck. Like they'll be
it's
like,
always like the same thing.
well, no, not the commercials or whatever. I block them out. But like when you see the timer in the corner, it's like 300 seconds.
Yeah.
It's like what the fuck?
I forgot about
Like
that.
300 seconds.
I forgot what that life was like.
Wait,
It's been so long.
We don't have ads on Hulu anymore?
No, the only reason you might see ads is sometimes there are certain streaming things that require ads that
Okay.
they don't have the rights to not play ads for.
Man.
But yeah,
Oh, it'll be ready in your program.
300 seconds.
I'm like, are you 300 seconds? Oh my gosh.
We'll see you in the next 22 minutes. The ad-free bundle plan will be available starting September 6th for $19.99 a month. And Disney is also cracking down on sharing passwords. They're looking at password sharing and how to crack down on that, just like Netflix has, just like all these other streaming services have. So if you are sharing your password with family members, friends, prison mates, I don't know why I just went straight to prison, like thinking of a pen pal, like one of those prison dating sites. This is where my head is at right now. But anyways,
You go on those often?
all the time.
Yeah?
I'm looking for an upgrade.
I'll give you an upgrade.
Only white collar crime though. Anyways, if you're password sharing, that might come to an end eventually, pretty soon. And finally, are you really, you got something else to say?
No. I don't. I don't at all. All right. I'll go on some prison
I'm gonna
sites.
need the mail key, by the way.
I'm going to go on some prison dating sites.
I think I need the mail key. I should be the one checking the mail from now on.
We should do that. You should find like a prison.
What?
And then I'll find a prison. And then when they get out, we'll all go on a big double date. Could be like a reality show. Like, I don't know, inmate or marriage or
Okay.
something like that.
Okay. Moving on from
We'll talk
very
about
fake
this later.
scenario.
We don't need people to know our personal life. Sounds
Okay.
like fun.
Oh Jesus. Finally, how do I come back from that?
This is a Disney podcast. We
Okay,
are a Disney
okay.
podcast. If this is your first time listening,
I'm doing breaths. Okay.
I gotta stop.
So I know that we tend to shit on Marvel a lot lately, especially when it has to do with the Marvel TV series on Disney Plus. We haven't been like huge fans of a whole lot of them. Tony way less than I have. However, this one, neither one of us will have shit to say. I Am Groot season 2 with the little shorts of Groot. It's coming back in September on Disney Plus. We loved season 1. I'm all ready for season 2.
That is the best Marvel show to come out yet. Those skits, those little 5-minute skits of Groot stepping on the little creatures, dancing, doing his thing, those were fun.
He's wonderful. So we'll get more of him in September. So that's exciting.
I can't wait. I'm excited.
Finally.
Yeah, no, I'm going to stop talking crap about Marvel, guys. I've kind of noticed I've become a Marvel hater.
Okay, no. Okay.
And I'm going to try to look at it in a positive light, and I'm going to try to go back. I'm going to go back and watch the Marvel movies that I've talked so much crap about. I'm going to try to appreciate it. Come from a different standpoint.
Hang on. My friend Allie and I were talking about this earlier this week. So I told her because
Hi, Allie.
we were
Hi.
we were talking crap about how you don't like any Marvel things anymore. And I shared with her, yeah, like I feel like I'm kind of, a hard critic, and how do you top Endgame and yada, 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 right? Well, she puts it into perspective for me pretty well. Bear with me here. I see your face. I already see it. Okay, thank you. So trying to compare Shang-Chi, for instance, to something like the incredibleness of Endgame.
Shang-Chi.
Oh, thank you. Wait, what was it?
Shang-Chi?
Shang-Chi, thank you. I'm just going off of how it
It's
looks
totally
in
cool.
text.
It's cool.
Anyways, trying to
You are
compare.
one glass in.
I am. Thank you. Yeah, 1 glass of wine, guys. I am. So trying to compare that movie to the level of Marvel extremity amazingness of Endgame. No, they are restarting an entire storyline, an entire universe, an entire Marvel, universe.
Yeah, I know that.
Okay, but so compare it to like Thor 1.
Mm-hmm.
Not so bad. And actually, that wasn't a bad movie anyway.
Yeah, Shang-Chi was one of the better ones. I enjoyed that movie.
But like you and I were saying also the other night, like Ant-Man and the Wasp, the more recent one, like, did I love it? No. But I understand the importance of it for building into something bigger and better.
I didn't love really any of the Ant-Man movies. Those are still on the bottom.
I'm just saying, like, that, for me, that put it into perspective to, like, basically think of it as starting over and go back to Thor 1, which, I'm sorry, even, like, Chris Hemsworth's wig looked awful in that movie. Let's be real.
That Thor movie sucked. That was a horrible Thor movie. No, I mean, I don't know. A big thing, too, is, like, we're watching these at home. I feel like going to the theaters and having that movie theater experience really changes these, like, blockbuster movies. Like, nothing beats going to, like, I love seeing movies at home.
Movie theater popcorn, yes.
I'm a big, like, sit on the couch, watch a movie at home guy, but, like, when it's a big blockbuster movie, like a Star Wars or a Marvel or, like, some Tommy Cruise, I enjoy.
I hate Tom Cruise.
I love Tom Cruise.
Anyway, continue.
Tom Cruise is my man.
Oof.
Ew. I want to see the new Mission Impossible really bad. Anyway, we got to get to the topic still. I need that movie theater. I need the sticky floor. I need the popcorn with the butter and the candy.
Floor.
The movie theater floor is just
No, you're right.
But I want that. I want that in my blockbuster movie. Like, it's just the experience, and when I don't have that, when I'm watching it at home, it's just I get tired. I'm on the couch. I think that's part of it too. I want to go to sleep.
I do think that's part of it too, because obviously COVID happened, and then we weren't comfortable going to theaters for quite some time. On top of that, and then we've got a baby on top of that, so trying to find the time to not have the baby with us for a 3-hour event of the movies. It's been rough. So I think we've only been to 2, maybe 3 movies.
Doctor Strange was good.
I'm trying to remember. It was better than other Doctor Strange movies.
But
for
like,
sure.
that's the thing. Like, a lot of people shit on that movie, but like, that's like one of the ones that was like my favorite that came out recently. And I just, maybe it's because I was at the movies.
We were at the movies, and it also had Tom Holland in it, which he's fantastic.
Tom Holland wasn't in that Doctor Strange movie.
Yes, he was.
What did he do? You're thinking Doctor Strange was in the Spider-Man movie.
Oh, yeah.
This was the one with
Rachel
what's her name?
McAdams.
The devil. Scarlet Witch.
Yes.
And then she's trying to protect her
You're right.
pretend
I was
sons.
thinking the
Yeah.
Spider-Man one. Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
God. All right.
You got more news?
We didn't go to the movie for that one. No, that is the end of the
Okay,
news.
all right.
Going into the topic.
Let's get into the topic. Oh my gosh. Oh shit.
Oh God, I used to be a professional. I swear.
We used to be good at this.
Yep.
It's all right. We'll get back into it. We just need to do it every week. You need to start.
Forcing you?
Anyway.
I've been ready.
We're doing this.
Yep.
Maybe we'll record another episode after this. We're ready.
Mm-mm. It's already past 8:00. Mama's
right.
got to go to bed.
Today's topic, we are going to talk about the 3 most underrated rides at Disneyland. Our opinions on them.
And DCA. Like
And DCA.
The Anaheim parks.
Y'all know what I mean. You go to Disneyland, you go to DCA too.
True, yes.
Let's be real. Mm-hmm. And if you're traveling there, you're going to go to both parks. And if you live there, you're going to both parks.
Yes. Underrated.
They should just get rid of it and just make it one huge park. Just get rid of that Esplanade.
No, they should not.
Now, I did ask people on Instagram, should we go through that first or should we
Sure, I've got
go
a
through
couple
our
of
topics
responses.
first?
We'll do them first. All right, so Tony went on Instagram and asked y'all, what is the most underrated ride at Disneyland or DCA?
That was me. I asked.
Yeah, they can tell by the lack of center of the photo. Anyways. And also the fact that you posted the story twice and I had to go on there and delete one of them.
I hate social media.
Anyway.
I'm sorry. I really
So
do.
we've got Claire telling us Pinocchio. The whale still terrifies my grown daughters.
I see that. The
Okay.
well used to terrify me too. Well into maybe like an age that I don't want to tell people.
36.
Honestly, I'm not going to lie, Claire. I almost put Pinocchio on my list because I think it's an underrated Fantasyland ride. I really do.
I can tell you I did not because I hate Pinocchio.
Why do you hate Pinocchio?
I just don't like the movie. Like nothing. No, I'm good. I'm good.
It's one of the better Disney movies out. It's
You're
such
out
a
of your
classic. Are you
mind.
kidding? Wish upon a star.
No, you are out of your mind.
I got
Moving
no
on.
strings to hold. Keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Claire, I'm with you.
Yes, we've got Hannah saying Luigi's.
Luigi's great ride. I like every ride at Cars Land. Like Luigi's is a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. We'll get more into Luigi's later.
What?
Oh. Erica, our friend Erica, is saying Monsters Inc. Agree. That is a great ride, especially when you think about what was there before.
It's a
Superstar
fun
limo.
Yeah, I never got to ride that. I think I've told this story on the podcast.
Horrible.
Like
Horrible.
a year ago.
I love
2
that
years
there's
ago,
something
maybe.
at Disney I have done that you did not.
I waited in line for it like twice, and like every time I waited in line, it broke down. It wasn't there very long.
Excuses.
Monsters Inc. Top notch, dark ride. I mean, it's like one of 2, I think, at DCA.
Yes.
You got the Little Mermaid and Monsters Inc.
Yep.
I like it. My favorite part is the sushi room where you can smell the ginger. I'm a vegetarian, so I don't put a lot of stuff on my sushi, so I love to load it up with that ginger. Anyways,
We've got our good friend Mark saying Storybook Canals.
this is Mark, our good friend, and I know that is his
Yes.
favorite ride.
Yes.
And I agree. I love that ride.
Yep.
I'm a big boy, so it's hard for me to get in and out of it.
We've got our neighbor Jackie saying Mark Twain.
Hey, Jackie, what's
Hey,
up?
Jackie. Hey, can you hear us? But
Hello?
Mark Twain.
Wake up. Wake up.
Yeah, they're definitely asleep. Mark Twain.
What do you think? You're not telling us what we need your opinion on
Okay,
these
well,
that people are saying.
I wouldn't say Mark Twain
You're
is
just skipping through 'em.
See, why do you call me out on Jackie of all of them?
I don't know.
Let's go back to
Storybook. I
Storybook.
can.
Let's go back to Story. I'm not talking about these because I don't know which ones are on your list.
It doesn't matter. We're
Okay,
gonna go through
Storybook.
'em.
I don't like Storybook.
Okay.
Fighting words. I know. I hate Storybook Canals. Mark
I love
Twain.
it.
I do like Mark Twain.
I want to write it with you, Mark.
But it's not. But Mark Twain is not something that I need to ride every time I go, or even every other time I go. But when you're looking for something just to kind of get away, I enjoy it.
Jackie, I love Mark Twain. I love getting on that boat and just seeing the crowds of people by pirates, and you go through by Splash Mountain and Hungry Bear. Then you see all the I don't know. Now I think you can see Galaxy's Edge from it now, I believe.
We've also got our friend Jennifer saying canal boats. They're delightful. Even though we went over the canal boats already.
Love them.
I know that Jennifer listens. So, hey, Jen. And then finally, we've got Dani saying, not me, Dani, but our friend Dani. He was actually on the podcast season 1, I believe. Roger
We have
Rabbit.
seasons.
I know. Do we? Okay. Year
Kind
1.
of. Yeah, we do it by the year.
Roger Rabbit, which I absolutely agree. I think Roger Rabbit is a blast.
I hate it. Hate it, Dan.
Okay.
No. I'm not going to use the word hate because I know Dani hates the word hate.
That's right.
I remember that.
He's very positive.
Dani is a
lot
very
of
positive
uplifting
guy.
energy.
Like Dani a lot. I dislike Roger Rabbit.
Well, you're insane. I hate you.
I'm
okay
I
saying
like
it.
the
No, I'm just
line
kidding.
cue. I liked everything up to the ride.
See, did you like Roger Rabbit growing up though? Because I loved it, and I have a
Yeah.
very specific.
I watched it all the time.
My dad. You know my dad. Anybody listening who knows my dad. My dad's wonderful, but not the kind of guy that you would expect to do this. He dressed up as Roger Rabbit for Halloween one year, and it was wonderful. And I remember that as a kid, just thinking like, my dad is the coolest person in the world, and he was Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, no, I liked Roger Rabbit a lot, and I loved the ride when it first came out. I just don't.
That is one that it is an honorable mention for me. I almost put it on my list, but I did not, and now I'm kind of wondering why I didn't. But anyways, moving on.
I remember my aunt picking me up from school. I think it was like opening night of Roger Rabbit, and we went to Disney, and I waited in line, and like I think we're like in the area where like the guy opens like the sliding glass part of the door where his eyes show. And then I just puked everywhere. I just out of nowhere. I wasn't feeling sick or anything. And out of
Did you
nowhere,
eat at Goofy's Kitchen?
Stop it. No, I think I ate a lot of popcorn before. I know I got popcorn while I was waiting.
Okay,
in
can I
line.
tell you something?
And then
Not topic related, but I have never had Disney popcorn.
It's really good.
I've never had it.
It's
like
really...
I don't go to a theme park and I don't want popcorn. If I'm at a movie, I want a popcorn, but yeah, maybe next trip.
It tastes really good. The only thing is I feel like it makes you thirstier than other popcorn. Like it really like dries out your mouth.
Because they want you to buy the $5.50 soda.
It's very salty and very buttery, but like yeah, man, like boy, you get really thirsty eating that.
Okay.
That's my review on Disneyland popcorn.
Good to know.
I give it like a 6 out of 10. It's pretty good.
Oh gosh, we should do an underrated, overrated of Disney snacks.
We can do it right now if you want.
No, we've got our topic.
Okay, we'll do that.
Mr. Moscow Mule, get back in the game. All right. Do you want me to start or you?
I like you starting
Of
because
course
your
you
list
do.
is usually worse.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for that. Anybody know a good prison website where I can find my new pen pal?
Flavorofinmates.com.
Oh, geez. All right. So, underrated rides. The first one, what are you going to spit it out because of that? The first one that I've got, I will just say Luigi's. I actually think that this is pretty underrated. And let me talk about it. So Luigi's over in Cars Land. I am guilty of always walking through Cars Land and going straight to Radiator Springs Racers because that's what you're there for, you know? So I have been guilty several times and for several years of not taking advantage of either of the smaller rides. So I was torn between Mater's or this one. And then I just thought back to the first 2 times that we went on Luigi's. One was just the 2 of us. The second time we were there with your friend Eddie and his wife Kelly. And I remember both times, all of us just huge smiles on our faces and laughing and just having a great time and just like feeling like a giddy little kid riding that ride. And I don't know why we haven't taken Jackson on it yet. We've taken him on Mater's. I think this next trip we will definitely take him on Luigi's.
Yeah, Luigi's line just tends to get a little longer than Mater's, and Jackson just can't really wait in line. So I think the first time we just kind of, plus it's not like as secure as Mater's is, and like he barely hit the 32-inch mark. So I was just kind of like, but definitely this time. And yeah, Luigi's is a really fun ride. It was one that I was thinking about putting on my list.
Yeah.
My number 3 is going to be Casey's Junior, the Casey Junior train, actually.
I knew you were going to have that one.
I love this ride, and I know someone put it on the list on the Instagram.
Oh, yeah, they did. Yeah, I saw it. I just didn't read all of them.
I know you didn't.
And I had a feeling this would be on your list.
I'm giving a shout out to you. I did see the name on the list, but I love it. I love the views. It's a fun ride. I love trains. I like the Disneyland Railroad too. I like this because you get a view of the Storybook Canal boats, and you can have really nice views of Fantasyland. I especially like this ride at nighttime. It's a really fun, beautiful little ride, and yeah, it's definitely on my underrated rides.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
I'm a fan of every Disney ride, guys, though. So, like, honestly, like, I like the most boring crap that, like, nobody ever wants to do. Like, I'm always begging people to do shit with me because, like, I like it all. Like, there's not one ride that, like, I don't think there's one ride that I hate. If you can think of it,
no.
Tell me. I don't hate any ride.
I think the first time that you and I ever went on Casey Jr. together was when I was pregnant. I think that was when I was feeling like, okay, there's not a whole lot for me to do. I guess I'll go on it.
Yeah, so like for me, this list, because I love everything, like every attraction possible. Like I was thinking, like you just said, I was thinking of rides that people like I have to beg people to go on with me.
Yeah. So my number 2, this is going to be a controversial one, and I think that people are going to be like, "That's not underrated. What is wrong with you?" And you're going to be one of them.
I'm gonna get pissed.
You're probably going to roll your eyes so hard at me and be like, "That's not underrated."
I'm getting the eyes
at
ready.
all.
I'm getting the eyes ready.
I'm going to say Mission Breakout.
Are you stupid? You stupid or something?
Okay, so this is the Guardians of the Galaxy ride over in DCA. I know people love it. However,
explain.
There are a lot of people. So this took over the former Tower of Terror that we had on the California coast.
Yes, it did.
There are still even if you enjoy Guardians of the Galaxy, Mission Breakout, there are still a ton of people out there that say, but Tower's better. So that is why I'm saying this is an underrated ride, because I disagree with y'all. I think that this is actually a better ride than the Tower of Terror that we had in California by far. By far. Now, I don't know that I want to go down the route of whether or not her dog is drinking water right now, and it is so distracting.
I was listening to a podcast earlier today, and like the dog was barking in the background the whole time. I'm like, okay,
So it's not just us.
It doesn't sound that bad.
It's okay.
So like,
Archie's done drinking now.
I'm not going to be as like angry or like strict about that anymore.
Yeah, sure.
If
We
the
did
dog
have
barks,
a
the dog
cat on the
barks.
table with us for the majority of this conversation already.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, I'm not going to go down the whole, spiel of whether or not Tower of Terror at Hollywood Studios is better than Mission Breakout, because I don't want to go there and I'm not really sure what my opinion is, to be honest with you. But for the people who are Tower of Terror diehards on the West Coast, Guardians of the Galaxy is the better ride. So that's why I'm saying that is underrated. Is that fair though for making it like on my list?
Yeah, I see your point.
Are you rolling your eyes less at me?
I see your point.
Thank
I
you.
get where you're coming from with it. I mean, look, am I rolling my eyes? Sure, whatever. It doesn't matter if I'm rolling my eyes. Who the hell am I? I will say that I do agree with you that I think our Tower of Terror at DCA was the right choice to bring Guardians to, because honestly, we had the weakest Tower of Terror out of all the Disney parks, and that goes for Tokyo, for Paris, for Disney World. We did have the weakest one. I'm not going to lie. It wasn't... It sucked compared to the other ones. So for traveling people that go to all the Disney parks and enjoy it, I do think that Mission Breakout was the right choice.
For people that are not traveling, for people that are just in California, just going to DCA, and you have to choose between Tower of Terror there or Guardians, Guardians is the right answer.
I think people are starting to like warm up to Guardians more, though.
It's been years that it's been there.
I think since like 2017, maybe 16. Either 16 or 17.
I think 17.
It opened
But
the same day that
regardless.
Pandora opened. I know that.
Yes, and we went opening weekend. I do remember that as well. I think we came home from Vegas visiting my parents and went straight to the park the next day.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that is my number 2.
I like your number 2.
Thank you. Was not expecting that.
You're just wrong. My number 2 is the monorail.
What?
Underrated. Not enough people.
Boring rides. You're just boring after boring.
It's okay. So this ride's not about thrills.
This isn't even like. Is this really considered an attraction though? Come on, this is transportation.
Did you not watch the attraction show on Disney?
I did.
Okay.
But are we going to
count? There's a complete episode on the trains and the monorails. There is an episode on it.
Can we count the tram that gets you from the parking structure to the front of the park?
Yeah, sure. I don't give a shit. Do whatever you want. I don't care.
Well, that's going to be my number 1 because it gets you in Disneyland.
Go
Just
for
kidding.
It. The monorail, no, because it's so convenient. It gets you to downtown Disney. It takes you to the hotel. It goes through Grand California. You get awesome views of the park. I love the monorail. I always have, and I think it is the best attraction in Tomorrowland. Boom.
What? Mm-hmm. The best attraction in Tomorrowland.
Yeah.
How dare you?
I love the monorail.
How dare you?
I want that to be my retirement gig.
I almost put Star Tours on the list because I think that there's so much hype around Galaxy's Edge now that people are like, Star Tours, bleh. But I did not.
But I don't know. Do people like Star Tours or the Millennium Falcon more?
I think people like, I would think Star Tours more, but I'm not sure. But
I don't know. I think that would be a tough call. That'd be a tough split.
Well,
I know we've asked people, but that was years ago when like Millennium Falcon was still pretty hot and fresh. I wondered now, like since it's been out for a few years, I am curious to see. Hey,
Star Tours is better. Anyways,
I like Millennium Falcon
Star Tours more than Rise of the Resistance. I said it.
That's fine. You're not. You're weird. It's cool.
I know, I am, but you know what? I own my weirdness. It's fine.
Okay.
We're about to have a dog cat fight right now. Don't do it, guys. All right. So going into my number 1, I think that you can guess what my number 1's gonna be.
No.
Oh, okay. King Arthur Carousel.
Yeah.
See? Rolling your eyes again at me. So King Arthur Carousel. So here's the thing, y'all. This brings a bit of Disney history into it. And if you are a true Disney fan, you appreciate the Disney history as well. So that is why everybody listening to this podcast needs to love King Arthur Carousel. So for multiple reasons, it is literally the center of Fantasyland, center of the park. And that's how it was built to be, so that it could be in the center.
It's like the heart of the park.
Because we all know the story. Walt Disney was at Griffith Park watching his daughters on the carousel, and that was where he thought of the idea of Disneyland, sitting on the bench watching his daughters on the carousel. We've got our own carousel within Disneyland. Not done. Walt Disney himself, this was a opening day theme park attraction, the carousel. Walt Disney himself loved this carousel, and he loved one horse in particular was his favorite, and that is Jingles, who has like the little bells on it. And Jingles was part of the Disneyland's 50th anniversary in 2005. Jingles was updated with like a Mary Poppins theme and got like totally like just glammed out with like gold trim and this and that. Jingles is gorgeous. And if you have listened to any episode where I am talking about the carousel, I talk about riding Jingles and I talk about how wonderful it is and how I'm always so disappointed, but also amazed and very happy and delighted when I go onto the ride and nobody's on Jingles, because then I get Jingles. Anyway, so just for the Disneyland history portion of it, I think that the carousel is vastly underrated because there's such a history as far as like even the idea of Disneyland becoming something to its existence today, and Jingles and Mary Poppins and being dedicated to Julie Andrews and just all that.
Loser.
I know. Who goes to a frickin' theme park? Who goes to a Disney theme park and is like, I need to go on the carousel?
No, it's cool. Yeah, no, the way you described it right now, it makes me want to go on it, to be honest with you.
You just want to go to Disney. Like, don't even lie.
I miss Disney so much. Oh, gosh. Soon, very soon, next month. My number 1 is the breakfast burrito at Grand California.
Stop it. That is not an attraction. Were you just seeing if I was listening?
It's so good. It is an attraction when I eat it. It's my Matterhorn.
Oh, Lord.
No, actually, my number one is the Golden Zephyr.
Okay, I'm listening.
It's not like it's my number one, but it's in the 3. I didn't really know how to.
It's definitely an underwritten. See, I went in order of like what's least. Well, kind of.
I didn't really put these in an order. I just
Yeah,
I chose the 3 that I think are very
Yes.
underrated.
Mm-hmm.
This ride's actually a lot of fun, and it's especially a lot of fun when you're riding it at night. You got Pixar Pier completely lit up. You got good views, and the line is always short. There is never a line, and it's comparable to Dumbo or
Yes.
those other rides, but you get a way better view of Pixar Pier. I love DCA. Probably my top 3 Disney parks. It's going to be in there, and at nighttime, there is no place I want to be than Pixar Pier. I love Pixar Pier at night.
It's beautiful.
It is.
And I actually agree with you. I thought about adding Golden Zephyr, especially after the last time we went and we took Jackson on it, and he loved it. And I think that was maybe like only our second time being on that ride. First time sober for sure, but and it was enjoyable, and like seeing the views and stuff. And I like how you say it's comparable to Dumbo. However, I actually think it's better than Dumbo because on Dumbo, for some reason, I get kind of like nauseous riding Dumbo. Like it's just like an awkward angle where I feel like I'm going to fall out, and even worse, I feel like my child that is riding with me is going to fall to his death. And then it's
oh my gosh,
and you're not flat. You're kind of at like almost like a 30-degree angle, so it's just kind of like uncomfortable too to like hold your body straight. Anyways, if y'all know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, you're like, what the hell are you talking about, Dani? But Golden Zephyr, you are literally flat. Like you are riding flat, and you feel like you are safe, and you feel like you are not going to fall out because you're just sitting in a chair, and it's wonderful, and you got these great views. So I am glad that you put that on your list because I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah.
Except I was expecting it once you asked me before we started the podcast. It's Golden Zephyr, right?
I used to call it Zephyr.
But
what other I don't know. There's a lot of underrated rides.
Well, you limited.
Tiki Room. Do you think that's underrated?
No.
What about the Railroad? I was gonna put that on there, but I'm like,
I feel like a lot of people like the Railroad.
That's
though.
the thing. I was gonna put that there, and I'm just like, I think enough people like it where it's not underrated.
I would never go on the Railroad until you and I started dating because you're the one that always wanted to go on it. Like I very rarely would do it unless I was exhausted and I didn't want to walk to where I wanted to go.
I really want to be that old man that like
You're going
builds
to be.
trains.
No,
and I just sit in a room and watch the trains.
You don't have the patience. You'll build like the caboose and then you'll be like, oh, that was enough for me.
What's a caboose?
The end of the train.
Oh.
Like you won't even get to like the engine part. You'll just be like, and I'm done. You'll put the track together and be like, whoa, that was exhausting. I'll come back next year. And then you'll leave it on my kitchen table and I'll be like, when are you going to get rid of this? I want to eat my food on the kitchen table again.
I think I have an ingrown hair on my leg.
I'm glad our listeners know that. Anyways, I think we're done. I think we are done after that. There is no topping that. Should that be the title of this episode? I think I have an ingrown hair on my leg.
No.
If y'all aren't already, please make sure you subscribe to this podcast. Please give us a 5-star review. It really helps us grow. It helps us gain other listeners that are just kind of looking for Disney content out there, and we will pop up for them. It also makes us, seem a little bit more legit.
More
the more reviews
professional,
that we have.
Yeah.
I know we've got way more listeners than reviews that we have. I have noticed our Spotify has finally gone up in numbers a little bit. Very slim. But thank you for those of you on Spotify who have left a review. Please continue to do so if you have not already. Find us on Instagram at Mouse Park Insider. And we'll be back next week with the most overrated rides at Disneyland.